next slide itself is working from home, and everybody on the call, everybody who's watching in as part of the masterclass series, will have had to adapt to this. So again, over to yourself, Michelle and Anthony. What's changed? Why is this important in a digital world?
Go on, Michelle.
I was just going to say again, this goes back to the beginning of what is digital. Digital is a way of doing things differently. It's the doing of things. So it's how they can do these things, or how people can work from home. So there's so many great tools out there now to help with the collaboration and things, but it's the tools around the data that's the most important thing. And people at home want to be reassured that they're actually still working with the right information, the right data. And you miss those little conversations, next to the photocopier or while you're making coffee, just to reassure yourself, about a process or the way to do something. And it's about being confident and comfortable working from home with the information and the tools that you've got.
It's also, again, making sure that people, going back to slide number 1, can be working in effective and an efficient manner. If you've got a digital platform that enables you to collaborate internally and externally from your living room, from your dining room, from your office network, those conversations, while they're great and valuable via a photocopier, they're no longer essential for your business and your AP department to operate effectively. They're no longer essential for you to be efficient in how you do things, because you can communicate via one platform on specific queries, on specific processes, on specific invoices, on specific challenges. All of that information can be logged and recorded. So again, going back to the audit and the compliance piece, you've got a full audit trail of what conversations have happened with whom and how what the results of all of those were. Also, from a business's perspective, they're confident that the information that they don't want going outside of their business, or that their suppliers or that their customers need to feel secure about, because they're secure access, because everything is locked down, people aren't able to print things at home. And let's be honest, how many people are doing that anyway? But if somebody did want to print something at home and do something funny with it, they can't. They can only access and do things that they can do, and the people running these teams and the senior people within the organizations can feel comfortable and confident that their data, their information isn't being mishandled, it's being secured. And let's be honest, it's the new way of going about things. COVID has brought lots of disastrous things to us, but in my opinion, this is one of the positive, very few things, but it's a positive approach. And we talk about it with staff retention later. Working from home is a platform now. It is something that people are looking to do either as an employee or as an employer. And having a digital environment enables you to carry on operating in an effective and an efficient way, but from anywhere.
Yeah, and you know what? One of the things we do at the association, we do lots of surveys, we work with lots of partners such as yourselves, and we also work with a lot of recruitment partners. And what they're telling us is that clearly that hybrid working from home is here to stay. That's not going away anytime soon. The whole issue, if you like, that was once having the systems and the capability and the digital platform for employees to work from home is getting better, but it's not quite there. And I think this slide's quite important, because when people are recruiting now, especially in the world of transactional finance and accounts payable, it actually is one of the criteria. Is there a hybrid of working environment? What are the platforms that we use, and what's the data we can access? And also then from an employer's point of view, they're interested in obviously the control aspect. What controls are got in place to avoid things like fraud or error prevention. And one of my questions for both of you actually is, how can an AP team still collaborate whilst working from home? I'm assuming it's from a digital point of view. So if you could answer that for me, if you don't mind.
Sure. So I mean, there are 2 or 3 answers to that question. The first and most common one is almost like a Teams approach, but it's a lot more streamlined and a lot more specific to the processes and documents that you're working with. So collaboration in terms of communicating very quickly and very effectively, without having to, wait for specific responses. And those questions can also kick off tasks and workflows. So you can assign certain requirements and tasks to individual much quicker. It's much more efficient in that sense. One of the other answers is you've, and Michelle's touched on this previously, you've got dashboards. So because you've got dashboards available to you, giving you an entire view of the operational side of an AP process, but also the financial elements of it. How many invoices have we got up for payment, etc., etc. Because all of that information is being logged by and kept within this one dashboard, being able to ascertain and understand exactly where the information is, and then being able to proactively push that through the collaboration tool that I mentioned earlier, means that people could be in all four corners of the country, but actually proactively engaging with each other through the dashboard, through the chat system, as well as the workflows that are then kicked off as a consequence of that via tasks, things like that. Does that make sense?
And to add to that as well, I think, you know, from someone that also works from home, obviously, there's an element of you want to feel comfortable with the applications that you're using, and that also means you don't want to have to use 10 applications just to do the same work you were doing whilst in the office. So you want the tools to be able to do all of those things that Anthony's just mentioned, but ultimately in one place. And if it's not all one tool, that they're integrating together so that you actually feel like you're not isolated at home. You don't know what information is in what system or how to access it. You want to feel confident and comfortable when you're working at home that there are people at the other end, you know, that you can talk to quickly, or that there is information in the right place, and that the systems are speaking to each other. Because working from home and trying to fix something can feel like it can take a lot longer. So ultimately you want to be giving the right tools, platforms, applications, systems and processes that are making you feel that they don't.
The most successful implementations I've ever been involved in have the least amount of impact in terms of changing how somebody currently works. You know, our objective here is not, as Michelle has just said, to go, right, now you're working from home, here's another application that you've got to be thinking of, because that's just a pain for everybody. Actually, what we try and achieve is integrate and implement our technology with the systems you're already using, and the tools that come with our technologies prop up the other ones, for want of a better term, or support the other ones, not prop them up, they support them, plug the gaps, so that individuals working from an unfamiliar environment, home, in terms of work context, are using familiar tools from a digital perspective to get their job done, and it's not causing them additional headaches. Otherwise, what would be the point?
Yeah, I love that, Anthony, and I think that's the thing. I mean, your statistic down the bottom, 30% of people, business people, say allowing employees to work from home efficiently is now a key driver for digital transformation. And what you've just articulated there is actually it's a two-way street now. You know, employees and employers are looking for the same thing. They're looking for ease of use, control, they're looking for one platform wherever possible. It's that whole collaboration is a two-way street. It's not just an employer expectant of an employer to get their employee to perform a certain task. It's actually the tools and skills and all the stuff that comes with that, which is becoming really important. It sort of goes back to my earlier point about when people are looking for roles now, this is actually a really important part. What are the tools? What digital products are you utilizing? How do we collaborate? This is really important stuff for both employers and employees. So it's a really important topic.
And just one final point on it, the key point in that statement at the bottom is work at home efficiently. Getting people to work from home with technology isn't an overly difficult thing to do. Give them a laptop, give them a couple of screens, bang, you're away. Actually, it's the efficient piece. That's the key bit.
And why is that hybrid? So ultimately, you know, are people working in a hybrid way because they have to come into the office because they can actually do so much at home, then they have to finish off the tasks when they come into the office? A true hybrid approach shouldn't be for that specifically. So if you've got to go into the office because you can't complete a process at home, then that's not true hybrid or remote working, is it? It's not true digital transformation. So, you know, I'd look at those tasks as well as why is it hybrid? What do they have to do when they come back in the office?